Welcome to Esalen Live, where we chat with change agents, swim deep waters. We're on an ongoing exploration of human potential. I'm your host, Christine Chen, and we're thrilled to announce a new partnership today with longtime Esalen faculty Lorin Roche and Camille Maurine. They are launching their next 200-hour meditation teacher training. They are the authors of several books together and separately on meditation. Their experienced teachings are sourced in the ancient Sanskrit sutras, but also explore the everyday approach to meditation. Super excited to see and get to chat with Lorin and Camille from Southern California today. How are the two of you? So beautiful to see you.
Good to see you, Christine. Thank you.
Yeah, so happy to be with you and everybody. Yes.
Yeah. Question. A lot of people are looking to meditation these days that might not have looked at meditation before as a practice. The pandemic has given rise to this practice in a very different way. What are you seeing from your experience?
Tremendous interest, desperate, sincere yearning and seeking
Yeah.
to learn how to touch base inside, how to find a secure inner platform, inner home base to come out from.
Yeah. And in doing so, in our way of meditating, it's a kind of intimacy with the self, so that you can come home to yourself, come home to your own body, your own heart, your own essential nature, and then emerged with a sense of restoration and renewal, and very often some sense of, I can handle this, I can show up creatively for whatever's going on.
Yeah. And you know, one of the most beautiful things about the two of you doing this training and offering this together, and just the way you teach in general, it's so clear your relationship is central to the way that you offer this practice. And I just want to know how you met, and did you know right away that you were connected on this other plane or in this world? And can you share with us a little bit of that inspiration?
Yeah, well, I was teaching meditation at this place called Project Tibet in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I just loved the Tibetan people and this deep friendship. And they invited me to teach there in uh, sometime in the 70s. And one day I came out of the room that I was teaching in, and as I walked out, this woman walked out of another room down the hall, and it was this a flash of light.
Yes. I was there at Project Tibet. I was living in Santa Fe for many years, and I had just come back from a sola retreat in the wilderness, in the Pecos wilderness, and I was had created a performance, a dance and verbal performance based on that experience. So I was in the large room at Project Tibet rehearsing for that performance. So I came out from doing what I love. Lorin came out from doing what he loves. And it sounds so mythic, and it feels mythic. That flash of light that Lorin was talking about. We didn't say any words. We didn't know who each other was. We walked toward each other and hugged. Then we found out each other's names. And then it was months before I heard from him. And then in January 1983, we really got together.
Oh, I love that story. And it seems like this story of how you met, the flash, the energy vibes that happen right away with you are central to the way that you offer meditation. Can you share with us how meditation is a central part of your relationship?
Mm. Want to?
Well, in a way, meditation is a relationship with the life force. In Sanskrit, they call it prana shakti. But jargon aside, meditation is the practice of being intimate with the current, the electric of our own life force. So it's our primary intimacy is with life itself, And when we meditate in a way that's intimate, it supports our ability to be in intimate relationship with another person. And also, we don't dump on them as much. There's always some spillover. But when you go inside and meditate, you take care of a lot of your intimacy issues and fear of intimacy. And you also get recharged. All your senses get thrilled with aliveness. So when you're with an outside person, it's like it's a date, it's a holiday, it's a vacation, it's fun. You don't have to work out your problems on them.
Yeah.
You're already doing your inner work.
And, you know, meditation is that sanctuary for us, any of us, to go deep into that connection with our own, you know, capital S self, you could say, and to tend all of these energies, all of our emotions and whatever's in our heart. It's a lot. You know, living is intense, and guess what? Loving is intense.
And I would also
So,
maybe add that now in particular is quite intense as well. I want to guide us to allow the people joining us on Facebook, and thank you, Zoe and Joyce, and everyone who's sending you love on the message chat there. I know that you're offering very generously three specific meditations, like a sampling of some kinds of meditation, self, partners, and all. Would you be willing to start this meditation in connection with self right now? Would that be all right?
Yeah. Well, a natural gateway we all do spontaneously, and you can see kids do it, dogs. Just sigh. Just just sigh. We'll do this for maybe 15 times, very gently. So, and as you do this, as you sigh in your own natural way, at your own natural speed, no hurrying, notice there might be a little doubleness. You'll see kids do this. You'll see athletes do it. You'll see we do it so spontaneously you don't even notice. And then, so that's announces to the body it's okay to shift into what scientists call the parasympathetic, or the resting, relaxing, repair, recharge, and reorient mode.
yeah.
And then let a teeny shift in perception. So we tend to be focused like this. And let's just allow the full visual field. So give yourself permission to rest in and enjoy this panoramic world. It's a teeny little direction and permission. So you give yourself permission to behold the wide visual field. And this creates almost instant relaxation, pleasure, because you're acting like you're in pleasure. You're taking in the wide field. And stay here. Your eyes can move. Eyes like to move. And keep on being interested in what happens to your body when you welcome this panoramic view of your world. It's an embrace of the wide field.
An embrace of space.
And this signal to the body, which responds within less than a second. Okay, so you can combine this with sighing, and it's just a quick doorway into meditation. You can do this for 15 seconds, and you'll feel a physiological response. And if you want to continue for 20 minutes, that's a full-on meditation. So meditation is just continuing for a few minutes, and you could do this for a minute and over a period of days or weeks, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. and let your body reset itself. It's a quick vacation.
Mm.
Go ahead. And
Taking yourself on a vacation. How do we then transform this, like, feeling of being in the full self here to connections with others? I mean, they're very challenged right now as we are separate, sometimes physically, and then sometimes our partnerships are also on top of each other with shelter in place. So I imagine that this practice has a lot of very practical and healing ramifications for the way we are behaving now during this pandemic. So what would be the meditation for connection with partner after we've gone through that? Or would we?
Mm, yes, that's such a beautiful question. So this intimacy with the self, that way of being in touch with all that's in our heart, all of our love, preparing, you could say. I learn something every day about what that means, and also what it is to open to the flow of love. So even bringing hands to heart here and embracing, any of your relationships, any, those people that, whether it's family, friends, a lover, a longtime partner, that what is going on in my heart, and the fact, the miracle that I can love, that I can, you might even gesture with your hands, I can receive love. This is an ongoing practice, being able to receive deeply, receive love. And that's why it actually can start from receiving from nature, receiving from the gift of being alive, that mystery. So receiving love is a big part of the dance of relationship. And of course, the flow, back out, the flow of giving love. So a simple gesture of this connection, of being in touch with myself and staying in touch with myself and my own body and heart as I come to meet the one I love, the ones I love. Mm. And that flow. And then when I perceive the other, when I perceive Lorin, when I perceive other, that sense of, wow, who are you? We have this sense of wonder and awe, and this other this other expression of life, of love. Who are you? And wow. So appreciating the points of connection and commonality, and appreciating the ways that we are different and individual. So first embracing one's own unique individual body, soul, heart, and then bringing that same embrace to the flow of connection with others. And that ache that we can have when we're separated and for some reason, so that's a big one. How do I? And so this simple gesture of bringing hands to heart, I mean, it's a spontaneous gesture that so many, you probably make, just whenever something touches you, right?
So good. Yeah. Just so good. Can you describe how we might do that meditation with breath? Because the breath that we learned in the connection with self, is it that same breath, or do we progress it when we practice the connection with partner?
Well, that sigh is great to do whenever you feel that constriction. Sometimes there are dynamics in a relationship where, the old, I call it shrink wrap of what, where we have configured ourselves in some way to get by, to survive. And then here we are at this moment of life when life is asking us to come home, to open to this miraculous flow, which is represented by this movement we call breathing.
Mm-hmm. I
So
love
that,
that.
it's such an immediate way. And that exhalation is that it's like, oh, okay, I remember I can let go now. Guess what? I
Mm,
don't have to defend myself. Guess what? Everything I have, and also that feeling of I'm resting in my own being. I'm interested and I'm curious and I'm opening more and more and more every day, honestly, to that sense of appreciation, of wonder, of gratitude. Yeah, this is a
yeah,
long, beautiful, ongoing practice.
I
In
love it.
meditation,
I love the way that you describe that. I'm sorry, Lauren, go ahead.
oh, just saying that in meditation, everything proceeds from relaxation and being natural in yourself. There's thousands and thousands of different techniques. They won't work the way you want them to work unless they feel like being at home in your own body
Mm,
and utterly natural with yourself.
Yeah.
And they'll feel like your favorite things, whether it's sex or dancing or music or drinking wine or gazing at sunsets or sunrises or looking at the ocean, riding horses, getting massaged or giving massage.
Yeah.
Let meditation feel like your favorite things, and your body will teach you the most sophisticated techniques. And it just keeps going. Like I discovered a new posture in sex yesterday or the day before yesterday with Camille, and we've been making love for almost 40 years. And there was like we were just like some just some slight we were lying side by side, and it's like, oh my god, this is a completely new posture. How like so the discovery just continues. If you the what meditation does, the real gift is it lets your senses wake up so that everything looks fresh. Even if you've been loving one person for almost 40 years,
Yeah,
it's like dating. It's like
that's it.
being in the first few months of a passionate relationship where it's like
Yeah,
reality is so fresh and startling because you're seeing reality, and reality is always new. And one woman, any woman, is probably 12 to 14 completely different women in there. Camille more like 99.
and
And
and I shamelessly embrace it.
I'm still getting to know them all.
This is such a
It
beautiful
takes
love story, and all the messages on Facebook, Sandy, Dana, Zoe, they're all loving the way that you are together as such an embodiment of the meditation practice. And by the way, Camille, I can tell that you didn't discuss sharing that for this interview by your reaction.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So we're really in the moment. Um, Expanding that even further seems like a huge act of generosity to go from self to partner to a connection with all. We're
Yeah,
globally connected by the things that we're going through right now. So, where do we
exactly.
find that generosity in our breath and in our practice to go deeper into that connection and to go wider with that connection? Can you share a little bit about how that might work?
Wow, I love what you just said, Christine, the way that you phrased all of that. Yes, we are inescapably part of the larger body of humanity. And so therefore we're tuned to the things that are going around in the world and on the planet. And, uh, that's a sort of mixed blessing because it means that there are some difficult things, difficult energies, especially right now for so many obvious reasons. Um, so, however, there's that feeling when we come home to ourselves. It's like we also come home to a larger field of connection and intimacy, and we have most of us, as I witness, have a kind of natural empathy for what's happening on another side of the world. That feeling in our hearts of, uh, sometimes that feeling of connection and that sense of wanting to be able to make a difference in some small way. So for me, that feeling of being part of that larger body includes the sense of connection and interconnection and interdependency, and therefore a kind of creative possibility, So there are many, 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 and everyone here, I'm sure, is part of this dance of bringing awareness in these same ways, and that primary connection to the essence of life. And in so doing, we feel that connection, first of all, to nature and the green growing things and all of the elements that make up this journey of being alive.
I love the way that you said that, Camille. I love it. And I know that people can start to learn these practices in a much deeper way with you, and then also go out and share, which is, wow, what a way to connect with all through this practice. Can you tell us a little bit more about your training?
Well, it's starting January 29th, and it's entirely online because of the obvious pandemic situation. We can't be physically at Esalen with you all. Something that we love. So, it's so wonderful that we have this partnership with Esalen now at this crucial time. So it's a journey of 20 weeks where we go deep into the essence of meditation and find first what it is for you as an individual. And then over that time, by learning in your own embodied way, so important, your own experience, making it real for yourself, then unfolding some of the essential principles of sharing meditation with others.
One thing that's so fun for me is that at Esalen in the 1960s, there was a circle of geniuses, the people that the buildings are named after, that Ida Rolf and Fritz Perls and Joseph Campbell and Aldous Huxley and Charlotte Selver and others, they had discovered principles of meditation that correlate with Western science. And they actually improved the meditation techniques, and they adapted them for people living in Western bodies. And what they were teaching, which when I was a teenager, I was just absorbing this, getting body work and learning from these people. What they discovered and what Esalen represents is actually way ahead of the culture. It's actually ahead of what's generally available in the world of meditation. It's how to be healthy in meditation, how to thrive, how to practice in a natural way, how to discover meditation techniques, even the most sophisticated techniques, as processes that are naturally occurring in your own heart and your own senses. And so it's so wonderful to be partnering with Esalen to share this wealth of information that Esalen has been the home to for over half a century.
Everyone at Esalen is so grateful for your contribution, for the partnership, for just sharing what can help all of us right now, globally, in our partnerships, and also just inside, deep down inside. So Lorin Roche and Camille Maurine, it's been a huge pleasure, quite the honor. You're getting lots of love on Facebook here. Feel free to ask them questions on the Facebook page. Maybe Lorin and Camille can go on it and have a little chat with you. But we really look forward. Yeah, feel free to reach out to them on social media and sign up for their training if you're interested in this in any way, shape, or form. So long for now, but not forever, Lorin and Camille.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you so much, Christine.
It's so wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Stay connected with Esalen, esalen.org, Esalen on Facebook and Instagram as well. Have a great day, everybody.